Alright everyone, I have a EVGA GeForce GTX 770. This is the 2GB version, and I'm going to unbox and review it for you. I've had AMD up until now. Actually, that's not quite true. I had 9600 GTs way back in the day in SLI. But I've been rolling with some 7950s lately, and they've just been aggravating me too much. The crossfire support wasn't there for some of the games I was trying to play. So I've kind of been fed up, and I'm going to move back to NVIDIA, at least for the time being. So I've chosen the GTX 770, it's basically a rebadged 660. So I am going to just get rid of the plastic. Obvious first step here. Alright, on the back it has lots of explanations no one will ever read. So I do like that they don't have tons of dumb pictures all over it. I hate graphics cards boxes where it's like pictures of half-naked dragons and stuff. Alright. So we'll just set the box to the side for now. And this first thing looks like it is probably a poster. Game of Pwns. You're not going to be able to see most of this, but this is an EVGA poster for EVGA Gaming. You can see that. Called Game of Pwns. That's a little bit immature, but whatever. We have the graphics card user guide. Obviously don't need that. We have the CD, kind of cool brushed aluminum look, with a really cool sticker. It looks like it's made out of metal or something. We have, okay, notices. Hope I don't have to update my BIOS. Here is a quick start guide telling you how to plug it in. Here are stickers to put on the side of your case. If you absolutely hate having a clean, good case design, you can use those. This looks like a VGA to DVI adapter. This is a power adapter and another power adapter, individually wrapped. Very nice. Alright, here is the card. Whew. This thing's pretty big. Try to pop it out of there without breaking anything. There we go. That is very large. I mean, I don't think it's a ton bigger than the 7950, but it's a very healthily sized card. This is the EVGA, the ACX version, so it has really awesome cooling, supposedly. I guess we'll find out. Looks like we've got these cover over the SLI bridges. I'll put that back on because I'm not going to be SLIing it anytime soon, as far as I know. But yeah, of course I will peel this off if you want to watch that. Ooh, yeah. And that's the card. Very nice, understated design. Obviously it's EVGA, they've been doing this for a while, they know what they're doing. If you want to look at the back of it, we have 2 DVI ports, and then we also have HDMI and DisplayPort. I'll leave those covered for now because I don't need them. So yeah, now I'm going to install this in my computer, run some benchmarks, and I will be back. Of course the video is going to cut straight to it. And let's see how this thing performs. Alright, now I'm going to compare the 770 with my 7950 and my 7950 Crossfire. Now, the 770 I was able to overclock to 1311 megahertz. That's not as far as it probably can go, but that was like a nice starting overclock, so that's what I've got it at. My 7950, I was able to get up to 1150 megahertz, which is a big step up from its stock clock. It's actually overclocked quite a bit farther than the 770. The 770 has a pretty mild overclock, but that's also because it's really just an overclocked 680, so it's kind of already overclocked from the factory, if that makes sense. And I'm comparing it to my 7950 Crossfire, which was stable at 925 megahertz. I have run it at 975, but the difference wasn't actually that big, so I just clocked it back down for a little more stability. So we're going to start with 3D Mark Vantage. 3D Mark Vantage is a couple years old at this point. It's a DirectX 10 benchmark, but I still think it's pretty good. So as you can see, the 770 was good for a score of 32,959.
The 7950 was 27,588, and the crossfire setup was 38,797. So, you know, this benchmark is old enough that the CPU definitely is not limiting me. The graphics cards definitely aren't really being, like, the graphics cards are the bottleneck. So if you're wondering why the two 7950s isn't that much faster than the 770, that's just the limits of the benchmark more. It doesn't go up a ton more than that as far as I know. But so yeah, that's the score it got. And then we went on to 3D Mark 11, which is the successor to Vantage. And in 3D Mark 11, the 770, the gap closed between it and the single 7950. The 770 got a score of 10,107. The 7950 was 9,693, and Crossfire got 13,107. So the score of the Crossfire cards is very, very good. That's faster than a Titan. That's faster than a 780 Ti. You know, that's a really good setup. Now, let's look at 3D Mark CloudGate. In 3D Mark CloudGate, this is more of a CPU-driven benchmark, as you can tell. There wasn't much of a difference in between the three GPUs. And actually, the 770 took last place in this one, but not by much. It got a score of 19,011. 7950 got a 19,550, and Crossfire got 21,070. So again, that's mostly CPU dependent. But we move on to 3D Mark Ice Storm, which is more of a mix. It's not quite as GPU heavy, but it is kind of in between. A completely GPU driven benchmark like Firestrike and CloudGate, which is more CPU driven. So in this one, the 770 took third place again, coming in at 165,761 to the 7950's 175,239, and Crossfire 7950's got 178,057. Alright, lastly we have Unigine Heaven and 3D Mark Firestrike. Unigine Heaven is, actually the cards were very evenly matched in it. The GTX 770 got 989, the 7950 got 973, and Crossfire got 1,538, so Crossfire just blew them away. Unigine Heaven is a very, very GPU heavy benchmark, which is why that happened. And then in 3D Mark Firestrike, also very GPU heavy. You can see the difference between CloudGate and the others. It pulls away. Crossfire does 9,480, very, very good. And the 7950 just narrowly edges out the 770 with a score of 6,874 to 6,855. So in the more GPU heavy benchmarks, the 770 actually takes second place to the 7950 by a tiny margin. Now, I know what you're saying, synthetic benchmarks are not real gaming. How does it do in real gaming? Well, in real gaming, it's very game dependent. Overall, I would say it's pretty much equal with the 7950 as far as I can tell. You know, in Battlefield 4, I'm actually getting a little bit better performance. I'm getting a little bit better performance in some other newer games, but then that mostly comes down to drivers, I think, and I think NVIDIA's drivers probably are a little more reliable and optimized at the moment. In games that are about a year old, there's really no difference between the 7950 and the GTX 770. The 7950 does have more memory, has 3 gigs, but I game on a 1080p panel, so I'm not sure that the 770 is even using 2 gigs, so that's not really something to be worried about. But yeah, you know, the 770, if 7950s were still selling for $200, I would say get a 7950. Since the price of those is skyrocketing because of Bitcoin mining, the 770 is still a great deal. The 770 is a great deal if you want shadow play, if you want the NVIDIA GeForce experience, if you want to be able to stream games to an NVIDIA Shield like I am. But overall, like it's not amazing. I think the price point is probably about right, and I think the 7950 is just still a crazy good deal if you could get one for a good price. And then I guess the R280X, no, the R280, I guess would be what replaced the 7950. The 280X is the 7970, but the R280, I guess would be just as good of a card if you can't find a 7950. But yeah, the 770 is a good card. I'm pretty happy with it so far, and I look forward to using it. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day.